Hey guys, and welcome to Love to Craft All Day. I'm so happy you guys joined me here for card making tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I enjoyed making it, and let's get into it. Starting off with my CC Design rubber stamp. This is the birthday cake Lucy. I am obsessed with this little girl. I recently bought her on Amazon like 3 days ago. So, just to continue, I'm actually placed her on my Fiskars compact stamp press, and I'm inking her up with my Versafine Oynx black ink. And the reason why I'm using this ink to be in particular is because I'm planning to watercolor. This is perfect for watercoloring. I'm telling you now, go buy this ink if you like to watercolor your stamps. I'm actually just stamping her onto my watercolor paper that I bought over at Staples. This can be found anywhere. You can use any type of watercolor paper. And I'm just making sure that I stamped her upon the smooth side of the watercolor paper. You have to make sure because it just gives you a better outcome. So I'm just cleaning her up with the StazOn all-purpose stamp cleaner, and I usually just use a baby wipe just to like wipe away the ink, and it comes out perfectly fine. So I'm just gonna go in with my watercolor. And these are the just plain old regular Crayola washable watercolors. This is a 24 pack. I bought this on Amazon as well. Okay, so I'm just really zooming it in, so you guys have a perfect view. And I'm just really fast forwarding it. For the hair, I actually used the dark brown and the black mixture. I just mixed it up to create that dark brown effect. And as you guys see, when I give you a sneak peek of how I do it, I just get a piece of aluminum foil and I just place the colors upon there so I can mix it all easily. And then the skin complexion is just in light orange with white that I just mix it in. The outfit, I really wanted a turquoise theme because I fell in love with the pattern paper. That's what I was inspired by. And I'm just adding a bit of a blush onto her cheeks just to give her more of that sweet girl effect to say. So I'm taking out my Martha Stewart craft scoring board, and I just grabbed a regular piece. I just grabbed like a extra Nina Solar white cardstock that was just like lying around. So what we're beginning to do, as you guys see, I placed tape upon the edges of the paper so it wouldn't move too much. It actually worked a bit. I feel like I needed to put more tape, but I didn't. Whatever. So I've taken out my scoring tool, and I'm just scoring on the 1/8 inch marks that are upon the Martha Stewart, and this gives a perfect embossed paper effect. I really wanted this paper to be used for the photo frame that I'm planning to use for my card. This is really quick and simple. It's not really quick, to be honest. It takes a bit of a while. Well, it depends on what type of paper you're using and the length of it. And I decided to just grab an extra length, and I didn't want to cut it right away. I may use this as a scrap for some other thing that I'm doing. So I'm just trimming it down to be 3 by 3 3/4. So this is the photo frame, as I said to you guys. I'm just pulling out my smaller craft mat, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I felt like it's much easier for me to see the measurements. And I'm just pulling out my ruler just to measure 1/4 inches away from the edge of the paper, and because I want to create that photo frame. The square in the middle that I'm actually creating is 2.5 by 2.5. Obviously it's a square, so I made a bit of a boo-boo, and but I fixed it up really quickly. So it's okay to make boo-boos these days, it's okay. It's okay. It's only a pencil. If it was pen, I'll worry, but I mean, it doesn't really matter either way. So I'm actually just gonna later on take out my crafting knife. This is my X-Acto knife that I bought recently as well. And I'm just cutting out the edges of where I created the template of the square. And then once I'm completely done with this, the square in the middle will come out and create that perfect, amazing, adorable photo paper. And I really made sure that while I was cutting, that the diagonals of the photo frame will actually go left to right. Like I really wanted that. I was very precise. So I'm just taking out my card brace. My card brace, once again, is a Nina White Solar cardstock, and I started with a cardstock that measured 4 1/4 by 11, and I just scored at 5.5 to make a 4 1/4 by 5.5 card. And I'm just later on now just placing the photo frame onto the little rubber stamped girl, the CC Design stamped little girl. And I had to cut a trim a bit because I didn't even like how the photo frame was being placed onto the girl. so I had to just trim off the excess. So I realized I didn't really like the background of the watercolor papers, like this yellowish tone. I really didn't like it. So I decided to go back in with my watercolor, and it's okay that I already framed it down. It's alright. I grabbed the light gray color, and I just started doing a bit on the background. I just really need a subtle something. So I'm going in with the Zest La Vie pattern paper, and I'm using this wooding thing, and I'm just taping it on with the Tombow Mono Permanent Adhesive. So I absolutely love this adhesive. It's great. Now for the little blue stripe that I just really wanted, just another pop of color, and I felt like it went perfectly match. It's the Martha Stewart Crafts paper pad. This is a double-sided sheet. It's 8 by 8 inches pack. It's amazing. I actually cut it down to be the width of the card, but half an inch thick. It's amazing. So just going in with my pens. This is the 005 Prisma markers, I think that's how you pronounce it, and I'm just going around the edge of the card just to create the hand stitch type of effect, which I absolutely love. As you guys see, I actually mounted my photo frame with the stamp with some mounting tape. This is a tape that I bought from the 99-cent store. You could pretty much use anything. So now I'm going in with my Penny Black Sweet Wishes Sentiments. I'm using It's Your Special Day and Celebrate, and I'm going in and inking It's Your Special Day with Memento Danube Blue, I think that's how you pronounce it, with 600, and Celebrate with Bahama Blue, which is 601. And when you see me inking it up, I actually first ink it up on scratch paper just to make sure that everything comes out right. I am new to stamping, so I'm just making sure that it's always best to make sure, how the image is going to come out whenever you're stamping. So I just first place it on a scrap paper, and then later on actually go in with the cardstock. The pattern papers I did not mention are actually measured 4 by 5 1/4. I'm sorry that I didn't mention that before, but it's 4 by 5 1/4. My pattern paper, the one that goes in the background. So later on, I thought I was done, but decided I wasn't done because I had to add rhinestones. As you guys see, I'm pulling out my rhinestones and actually just putting 2 at the corners of the left upper corner and that. And as you see, I actually made multiple copies. I actually used some other paper, which it was scrapbooking paper. Amazing. So I love this outcome.
Like an astronaut that's scared of heights, with a heart